Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Courtney. I am a stay-at-home mom, wife, and author. And today I thought that we would kind of do a quick chat, maybe quickish. I feel like I'm long-winded, so my videos are never quick, about January in my planners. So let me talk about what I kind of started the year with, right? So this was going to be my system for the year. Actually, these two go together. And I really, like, if you watched any of my videos about, prepping for 2025, I really tried to go into this year being very, like, thoughtful about what I was using and how I was going to use it and what I thought I needed. So I was going into the year with my personal rings as my main planning system. It has been my main planning system for the last 2 years. I'm really happy in it. I didn't think that I needed to make any changes. And then this was my business kind of content writing system, in A5 rings to do my goal setting in, and then this A5 Nolte in a Hobonichi cover to really kind of do the planning of it all. I had decided that I was going to use this I can't even think of the name of it now, but it is basically a dupe for a Hobonichi Weeks that I got from AliExpress. And then I was going to use the standard size for my memory keeping and kind of comment placing. Very thoughtful system. It didn't seem too overwhelming. I hadn't planned to be in all the books every single day, so that wasn't really worrying me. Oh, and then I had one more planner as well. And this was my A5 for my tarot journaling. So hadn't planned on being in them every day, easy peasy, nothing I hadn't used before, so it didn't feel unfamiliar or that I needed to kind of, when you start something new, if you're jumping from rings into a bound book and you have that learning curve of how you want to use something versus the way it may be structured or the way that it comes, and you kind of have to figure out your sweet spot in whatever system you're using. But because I had used all of these things before, I didn't think there would be any of that, and I just thought, I'm going to jump into my books January 1st. Life is going to be fantastic. So let's start with my A5s. So this actually started before the end of December, or before the end of the year. So I started using this in, I believe, December. It starts December, right after, or actually, yeah, the week of Thanksgiving was my first week using it. Kind of jumped in and really have been using it ever since. It's been super helpful. It's mostly functional. Occasionally I'll throw some stickers in, but it's mostly pen and highlighter, and it's really working. Last week was a mess. I didn't do anything in any places. This is the current week. And so I really like how this is working for me. No real changes with this system. So I use my weekly to kind of plan out content. I plan out the months on the month on 2 pages. I have some extra pages in the back that I am doing for more like long-term information that I may need for writing or for content. And then I just have some A5 notebooks that I've been using. I'm using this one for like collections throughout the year. Like I have notes on writing. I have notes on like the things that you need to know when you upload your book to KDP. Like all of that kind of stuff is going in here. A few stickers, business cards. It has really been working, and I still am just, this cover is so freaking cute and I love it. So not a problem in using this. This is my goal planning, and it is still working the way that I need it to. I can't remember if I had this in here at the time or not, but I do have a month on 2 page inserts from, yeah, I did have them because I cut them or I punched them incorrectly. This is from PeanutsPlannerCo. I'm just putting deadlines on this calendar specifically as it relates to goals. My goal planner is in here. I will be doing an update like on this system and how all my goal planning is working. I think that should be up next week. So these two, there are no changes. It's still working really well for me, and I really like it. These two, however, yeah, so last year for my health planner, I used a standard size, or the common planner in the N1 size, which is the standard size from Sterling Ink, to have as like my health planner, medical reference, all of that. It worked really well, but moving into this year, I didn't think I needed that big of a footprint. A lot of the concerns and issues and like things that I was trying to manage or kind of needed the data on to advocate for myself, like with my healthcare and all of that. A lot of that stuff had been resolved towards the end of the year. So I didn't think that I really needed that big of a book to track all of those things. So I thought, well, let me get this. I don't even, what are these called? Kimbor. Why could I not remember that? So this is the Kimbor Weekly, and I'm like, well, it's on AliExpress. It's only a couple of dollars. I'll just get it and set it up, which I did, and it's super cute, and I love the little setup that I did. I have not opened this thing once since the year started. Not even once. I had all of my like tracking of my medicines. This was where I was going to enter my blood sugar numbers, track my weight every week. And then I had my mental health tracker set up. And then I think I was going to track my meals and exercise on the weekly, and I have not opened it at all. And then I was super excited to jump into this. It also has a Kimbor in here, and I love the standard size so much. Towards the end of last year, I was seeing a lot of setup videos for traveler's notebooks, and I love traveler's notebooks. I specifically love the standard size traveler's notebooks, and as much as I love them, I know for where I am right now, I can't plan in them currently, just because of the things that I'm trying to do and manage and track. for whatever reason, my brain has a hard time doing it in a traveler's notebook. So I was like, well, I can't really use it for planning, but I still want to use one. What could I use it for? So I bought this Kinbor, set it up, super cute, for my memory keeping because it has the weekly, right? The weekends are stacked, but it has the weekly, but it does not have the daily pages of the Hobonichi. Well, it has some blank pages in the back, but you don't get, 365 of them. So I thought, okay, well, I can just do my memory keeping in this. I did my memory keeping last year, I think, no, I did it in a B6 last year. The year before last, I did it in standard size inserts from the Travelers Company, and I really loved how it turned out. And I think that 2023 was the first year that I managed to keep up with my memory keeping and essentially had a complete book, although it was 2 books, at the end of the year. So I got these and I'm like, it'll be easy, no muss, no fuss. Come in every couple of days, jot down whatever I want as like my memory, go back through and add photos. I was going to use the monthlies for my gratitude. You can see that didn't come in and use it, didn't use it at all for that. I mean, I do have some things written down in here. I do have the pictures, but I have not felt compelled to use this at all. So that's where we are now. And I had my journal in here. I was going to use this for my journal, this for my commonplacing. Have essentially not touched either one of them. So yeah, I tried moving this book. I was like, well, it's in my office, so maybe that's why I'm not using it. So I moved it from my office to my nightstand. Still didn't use it. Moved it from my nightstand to the living room, like the side table in the living room, thinking, well, if I'm just down there kind of vegging out, I can have it. Nothing has compelled me to open this, and I don't know why. And I have the pictures. I have pictures that I have that to like put in, and I haven't. So I don't know like what is keeping me away from this. I still love the setup. I love this TN, everything. It's just, I have not used it at all. So the one thing that is chugging right along is my standard, why was I about to say standard, is my personal ring system. I'm still in this, still using it, still loving my using 2 weeklies. So I use my week on 4 page, like as an overview of the week. These are a freebie from My Moxie Dreams. They're on her website. Then I am using I had been using this timed weekly from PeanutsPlannerCo. I decided for February that I didn't really need the extra information on these inserts, even though I really like them. So I bought these from Crefective Paper, which is essentially the same idea. There's just no like boxes and no trackers. So I really like these. This is my first week using them. So we shall see, but love that. I've got a section for my goals. I've got a section for like my reading and kind of personal info. Everything's working really well in this. And then the other thing that I did, well, let's talk about kind of the 2 like supplemental things first. So like I said, I'm using this for my tarot journal. And then I had gotten this Clever Fox as my like archive of the year for the year, because I'm not saving any of the inserts from my ring planners. So I was just like, well, I can write all the info from my ring planner in here and just have an entire like record of 2025. And that is sort of going. I have like some goal pages in here that I really like. I love this big monthly calendar. So I went in right before the end of January and kind of filled it all out. And I haven't done this yet, so I'm gonna put my analytics for the month here. This is kind of all the stuff that I was interested in. I did have a bit of a struggle deciding how to use the weeklies just because there's so much space, and I don't think I've had a planner this big in a really long time. So I've just been using it like that. This week, I think was last week or the week before. I messed up the date because this planner starts on a Sunday, and I had already written stuff in and didn't want to like waste this whole spread. So I just whited it out and started it at Monday. I don't have a Sunday in this spread. It's fine. We don't do anything on Sunday a lot of the time anyway. So this week, I think ideally is how I'm going to record things, possibly. This was last week. It was just like a really rough week last week. I did not come in and finish all of the things that I wanted to do in here. And I really had put off making this video because I wanted to have like everything finished to kind of flip through, but that's not really how life is working for me right now. So this is last week, and I have not done anything for February yet. So I will come in, set up the monthly, go back in and make sure I have all of the information I want to be noted in January down. I had been thinking what I would do is also just use this as a memory keeper as well, and go ahead and add my photos and all the little notes and all of that in here, instead of trying to do it in a separate book. That may have been the thing that I was like, this may be a little bit too much. Or, so I don't know, that's a thought. And then this has been just my tarot journal. I wanted to do it separately. And I have not been, I've been doing like my spreads every week and pulling cards and all of that, but I haven't done it. This is the only spread that I've actually set up in here, which was that like second week in January. But I have like all my spreads. I have the deck that I use this month. I have them all printed out and ready to go. I just haven't made the time to sit down and do this, and I really, really want to. I had like the Oracle card that I pulled for January, so I'm going to use this down here for a monthly Oracle card. And then this is like my daily card pull. I haven't gone in and like made any notes. My idea was to compare the card that I pulled in the morning to my daily pages from that day and kind of see what the vibe of the day was. But like I said, have not made time to do that. That may fall to the wayside as I'm like trying to do all the things. And I knew that January was going to be kind of hectic for me. So I don't know why I put all of the pressure on myself to start. So these two are like things that are working, but I feel like I'm not devoting enough attention to them, and I'm not using them the way that I really wanted to at the beginning of the year, which is kind of a bummer. But at this point, I'm still on board with using them. I like how they turn out when I do use them. It's just building the time in my schedule to get to them. So, and I think I started saying this. So my other thought with memory keeping was to just do it in this little Kimbor weekly. One, because it's not so big that I feel intimidated by it. And two, if I can, okay. And two is because I could really just slip this in the back of my rings and carry it with me, so it's not something else that I'm having to pull out during the days. Like, it would just be with my main planning system, which makes it easier for me to use it. And I know if you've been here for a while, you have heard me say that I am a slacker, low key, high key. And the fewer steps that are involved in me doing something, the more likely I am to do it and to stick with it. So this is an option for like my memory keeping and whatnot. I did do, like, when, I think the first year that I had a weeks, I did a little bit of memory keeping. Which one was my first one? I think it was this one. These are all of my weeks that I've had over the years. But I mean, I did a little bit. I was using a lot more stickers. Maybe I didn't do a lot of memory keeping that year. No, maybe it was the next year. Or maybe I'm just kidding and I didn't do any memory keeping. I thought there was one that I had like more pictures and stuff in, but maybe I'm deluding myself. So no, I have not really used it as a really good memory keeper. Was it this year? No, because this was 2020. I didn't do shit in it for 2020. Anyway, I guess I didn't use it as a memory keeper. But I'm thinking it would be good for that. Or like I said, I could just do memory keeping in my archive as well. Certainly there's plenty of room to add pictures and whatnot. I just worry about like how big it will be at the end of the year. But those are my thoughts on that. And then lastly, I fell down the pocket rabbit hole. And I think I talked a little bit about how I had my pocket Filofax and I really liked it, but I was kind of surprised by how big it was, and it felt kind of chunky, and I didn't feel like I needed that much space if I was going to use a pocket. It would just be something that I had in my bag. So I felt like I really probably only needed a monthly and like notes pages, and that felt like too much to put in that Filofax. So I ordered this is just the regular pocket from Moterm. It only has 19mm rings in it, which is funny now. I bought it because I felt like it was smaller, and now I feel like I need bigger rings because this is stuffed. But I am using it in my bag and I absolutely love it. It's it's unnecessary, but it's also adorable, and I really don't care. When, so you know, when TikTok shut down for that 12 hours or whatever it was, and anyway, everyone on TikTok was downloading Redbook, and I was on Redbook, or I think it's called the Little Redbook. And I'm still on there, I just don't post, because then it was this whole discussion about Americans like interrupting their feed and like making it difficult for them to kind of communicate with their families elsewhere, and I don't want to contribute to that in any way, and I'm just trying to be like a good visitor in a space that's not intended for me. So I'm following like all of these just like amazing accounts. And there are a lot of like pocket planner accounts over there, and they are so like, it makes me want to buy like all of the journaling, all of the stamps, and there are planners there who have like multiple of these little planners, and I love watching them like update them daily and all of that. But anyway, so they do a lot of kind of scrapbooky things in their planners that are just for the sake of them being a pleasant experience once you're in them. So it may not serve a functional purpose, but it just makes it look nice. What I learned from those accounts is that a lot of them, and not just in their like planners and journals, but in a lot of the content that I have been watching from there, they just seem to really take the time to enjoy and appreciate and kind of delight in doing things just because you like doing them, or having things just because you like to see them. So that is kind of what I've been doing with this little pocket planner. It does, I mean, there is some function to it, don't get me wrong. So I just have like this card pocket with some photos in it. This I thought was cute because these are pictures of my husband and me when we were about the same age. So I think I was 4 in my picture, and I think he was 5 in his. So I just think those are cute. So yeah, I just have like some cute little decorative things in here. I have an inbox section with just some notes pages, a trigger list, just some other little like remnants I have in my stash. I've been just sticking them in here. I do have a monthly calendar, so this is a month on 2 pages. So if I'm out, I can use it to schedule appointments and whatnot. I have been keeping up with this, so I will update it every few days. I will transfer information from this to my personal rings, or from my personal rings to this, depending on what I've added to my monthly. And then I just have like the monthly freebie from SleepyNotesClub. And then I have this really simple weekly in here that I have been using. I like it. It's lined. I do already have the whole year printed out, but I had to print it on heavier paper, so I couldn't fit well, I had the whole year, and then I took some of it out because I decided I wanted to add other things. So I just have the first 6 months of the year in here, vellum, more photos just because I like them, this vellum, a patch. Bees are kind of my, just like an animal that I identify with, because bees are the way that they are built should make it impossible for them to be able to fly, but they do it anyway. And so I kind of feel like that's like a metaphor about my life. Sometimes I feel like because of like circumstances or whatever, like I shouldn't be able to do certain things or whatever, but then you just figure out a way to make it happen. So yeah, have that in here. And then this is sort of my YouTube and project section. So I have this quarterly insert, I think it's from Planner Room Shop, where I've just been putting like projects that I'm planning for each month. And then as it pertains to like YouTube and writing, this is a freebie from Hellenistique. Her shop is called Productive Lab Co. You can get the freebie there, and it's just like a YouTube log. I am using this specifically. This one in here is for my author YouTube channel. The one in my personal rings is for my like lifestyle channel, and then the one in my A5 rings is for my planning channel. And then I just have these project pages, which I sort of, what's the word? Hacked. These were therapy notes inserts from PeanutsPlannerCo, and I just imported them into Canva and renamed the sections. So I have like my project, the date of the project, or I'm sorry, the goals, and then room for priorities here, kind of the major steps, and then breaking down like the key steps and the actions to like break those down. So I have those in here. And I have an expense, this is my tracking section. So this is part of the reason that I have not used my Kimbor Weekly, is because I moved the stuff that I was tracking into here. So I do have this pullout from Peanuts Planner Co. I've been using to just kind of write down a word that kind of sums up my emotions of the day. So you can see January was a rough one. This is my actual mood tracker. I'm using the key from Watch Becca Plans. I have my blood sugar log, my workout log, my cycle tracker, and then this is like my sleep and mental health. So I'm tracking my anxiety, depression, and fatigue. And then this is my sleep, and then sort of my energy log. And I think this is from Planner Room Shop. So I have that in here, and then I just have this tracker that marks like when I've had to take medication for something. So basically over-the-counter medication that I don't take regularly, if I'm taking it, if I have to take it like during the course of the month. I have a place to track that. I have these in here, but I don't know why. I might pull them out because I'm not really using them for anything. And then I am using this, well, I had been using this insert, which is, I believe, from the Planner Room Shop, as like tracking my meals and my fitness. But I can't decide if I want to keep using this or this, which is just a weekly. I think this is a freebie from Peanuts Planner Co., where I tracked my meals and then kind of my workouts for the day. So I don't know. It's Monday and I haven't done anything on either, so we'll see. Then I just have like a health log in here, doctor visit log, and then I basically have the same like health information stuff for my son in here. And then this next section is just kind of lists. So next time I'm at lists, things that we always get at the grocery store. So when I'm making my grocery list, I can kind of quickly add things. And then these are just like fragrance wish lists, my regular makeup products, books to read, like all of that stuff is in here. And then this is just kind of notes paper. And then I have my cards in the back. So I usually have my driver's license in here, our insurance card. These are like the cards that I use most regularly, and my library card. And then I think I have cash in the back. I have cash in the back and some stickers. So this is how I've been using it. I'm fine with, the only information that I feel obligated to duplicate is my monthly calendar, but I always update my monthly calendars in all of my planners because that's what I use to plan from. I am using this weekly as things are scheduled to happen. So once the month starts, well, this is what I did for January. When January started, I went in and put down everything that was happening and then just took it from there. If it didn't happen, I kind of not whited it out, but like crossed it out, made little notes. I might add stickers and whatnot, but we'll see as it goes. And then when I am having, like I usually do my content planning and stuff on like Thursday for the next week. So when I'm doing that, I pulled this out and kind of made some notes. When I'm working on specific projects, I can have this out as well. So far it's been working. We'll see. I might find a better way to use it, but I like what it's doing right now, and it's so cute. And I love just being able to grab this and my keys, and even my key, like my key fob, I can tuck it in here and still close it, and then I'm just carrying one thing around. So that is how my January turned out in my planner. Some mild disappointments. I think my rings is going to be the thing that kind of works with me for most of the year, or for the year. And we'll see how it goes, but that is all for today. How did the first month of the year turn out in your planners, your journals, your books? Are you using everything you thought you would be using? Have you already given up on something completely, like I appear to have done for this? Or are you kind of moving along and making progress? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's it for me. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you are not subscribed, please click the subscribe button down below. Turn on your notifications, do all of the YouTubey things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.